Counter story. This is my counter story. My counter story.
It's real in the field, and they know that our passion is real. Given the circumstances, I gotta give me a meal. The people are watching, my back is the target. No matter the struggle, I know where I'm walking.
It's real in the field, it's real in the field. It's real in the field. They tell you to do what you feel. People in society, my people are crying. I'm being the system, I'm no longer dying. The odds in my favor, this moment I savor. For public housing, the music and nigga. This music is potent, providing this motion. My vision is clear, and it's broader than oceans. The tears are falling, my future is gone. So I'ma be grinding, I won't do no stalling. Salute to the real, all my soldiers before me. I'm giving you my kind of story. My kind of story, babe. My kind of story, babe. My kind of story. My kind of story. My kind of story, babe.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Counter Stories, a talk show for the younger, cooler generation. I'm your host, Dustin.
And I'm your hostess, Jasmine. We are definitely excited to have you all join us today. We have a great show for you.
Counter Stories is a space for teens to truly talk and debate amongst each other about different social justice issues, current events, and concerns plaguing the community. Our goal is to help break the dominant story, break down the typical way of thinking, and help you build your counter story, an alternative, more open-minded, and resourceful outlook and view on things.
It's also a creative space where we highlight artists, engage and challenge the thinking of our guests, and get motivation from individuals doing big things in our city.
That's right. So, what you got planned for your Christmas break?
Probably just chill with my friends and shop for gifts, I guess. I have a niece, she just turned 1, so I gotta, do it big for her.
That's right. That's right. I don't know about me. I got siblings, but I'm like, what's that dude off of it was in the 12 Days of Christmas. It was the Grinch dude. Like, he ain't want to buy nobody Christmas presents, so he was
The Grinch?
Nah, not the Grinch. It was the old dude.
Future,
past, something like that.
I know you're talking about. He's
Yeah, I'm
like
that
Bah
type of
Humbug.
person.
Him.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name, but
I don't get nothing for my siblings. They got work for it. But yeah, that's about it. So let's get it started. All right. So we got a fully loaded show for you guys today. We're going to check in with the city and see what's going on in our area and talk a little bit about the holiday season.
Y'all remember the love story that went viral? The man that proposed to his wife and gave her a surprise wedding in the same day? Yep, we have hashtag Forever Duncan in the building to talk about the importance of consent in healthy relationships. Last but not least, we have a dope performance from one of the hottest DMV artists that's definitely on the rise. Tyron, let's check in with the city.
What's up, world? This your boy Tyron, and this is Check In with the City. Today, we're going to talk about one of my favorite times of year, Christmas. Have you made your Christmas wish list yet? Of course you haven't. Well, let me make this one recommendation. Shop local. Support small businesses this year. While we just missed Small Business Saturday last month, there's always an opportunity to support these entrepreneurs. Use some popular hashtags such as hashtag DMV Fashion or hashtag DMV Lifestyle, and you'll be surprised at what you find. There's so many great brands out here, so definitely keep your eyes open. I know, we're all ready for winter break, but don't just break. Be productive with your time. Plan to do your assignments in increments so that you don't rush and make careless mistakes at the end of the break. Also, find a good book to read. And if you're really trying to be proactive, do a mini report on it and turn it in. You might get some extra credit. There are many community service opportunities out here. Volunteer at your favorite place and get those community service hours out of the way. Lastly, to my friends that are seniors and juniors, take some time to do some research and apply for some scholarships. There's no such thing as too much free money. Everything's good here in our world. We're checked in.
We'll be right back after this break.
Morning, Gary.
We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? You know you do. That's why we're here. We're free and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Picking a college, man. You and us. We go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos. Go to GetSchooled.com.
I think like when you're in a relationship with somebody, it gets kind of tricky because like how you mentioned, you're not just gonna be like, hey, so we gonna do it today? Are we gonna do it now? Like, especially when you're in a relationship and have been in one for a really long time, especially when you're married, like.
Yeah.
So I think like you still do need consent, but a different type of consent. And in a relationship, you know your partner, you know their body language, like you can kind of read them to a certain extent. So like you would know what their no is without saying no, type stuff. It's just kind of weird when you're in a relationship and you really just ask.
But consent is a tricky topic though. When they said, because he named 3 different types of relationships. He said boyfriend, fiance, or spouse, right? Now, if that's like your husband or wife, then consent for a lot of things, it should be like for like a limited amount of things. Like, I don't even think you're supposed to ask if you want to use her favorite cup or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, this is ours now. Like, we are married. We have everything you have is mine. Everything I have is yours. So. But in a boyfriend or girlfriend type relationship, in which you know that it will be terminated sooner rather than later, or vice versa, then yeah, you have to ask, because you just need that type of permission.
Yeah.
Destin basically was tripping because he was saying that when you're married to somebody that you automatically just get the green light to have sex with them basically whenever you want, and that's so wrong because that's basically saying that you get to rape your wife or your husband whenever you want to just because they're married to you. And just because you're married to somebody, that doesn't mean that you're entitled to their body and stuff. You still have to make sure that they want sex just as much as you do, because forcing people to have sex is not cool.
Welcome back to Counter Stories. As you can see, Destin and I don't see eye to eye on everything. I wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy, so we had to bring in our special guest for our trending topics. Today, we're discussing consent, which can be very sensitive and a taboo topic. As we explore consent, we will also dive into how consent contributes to a healthy relationship.
Alfred Duncan is a Grammy and Emmy-nominated artist, and Sherelle Duncan is a certified fitness trainer and speaker. They were introduced by a mutual friend in 2007. They became social media associates for the next several years, and 6 years later, Alfred sent Cheryl a Facebook message to commend her on her weight loss journey. She responded with her phone number. The first year of their relationship was rocky, but they stuck it out. At the end of 2014, they became a committed couple, and the two married on October 1st, 2016. The wedding was a complete surprise to Cheryl, who was under the impression that they were having a competitive date day, in which she had agreed to do whatever Alfred said. He declared it Servitude Day, and he took her phone and began to execute his well-thought-out plan. Alfred proposed to her at noon and had already planned a breathtaking wedding at 5 p.m. with all of their friends and family. He also posted the entire day in photos and videos on both of their social media accounts. Amazing, right? Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. and Mrs. Duncan. What's good with y'all, man?
What's up, man?
It's Sherelle.
I knew you was gonna say it.
It's Sherelle.
I knew it.
My bad.
It's a pet peeve of hers. Cheryl is her alter ego. It's an older woman. And you don't want to meet Cheryl.
I don't know. I don't do. So, where you guys from?
We're from D.C.
Mm-hmm.
I was born and raised in D.C. My parents moved us to Maryland in my high school years and been here ever since.
All right.
Same here. I was born in D.C., but I moved to Maryland earlier, like when I was like 6 or 7 years old. Been in Maryland practically all my life. But my family is from Virginia, meaning like the Arlington area. So I've been DMV for life. What you call a Maryland Bama, you know?
Yes.
But it's
I
cool.
second it.
So
Yeah.
what do you say? You in love with a Maryland Bama?
I
You
mean,
married
that's
to a
cool.
Maryland
That's
Bama?
cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
But you're still a Maryland Bama. Look at him. He don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So like, when I first seen the video, it was like, I don't know, I didn't know how to take it. I was like, that's crazy, because I know for a fact if I was in that position, I can't do that in a whole day. So like, how long did you have this plan? Like,
It took me about 3 months to plan it. It took about 3 months. And everything just started working itself out. Like, the idea was mine, the thought was mine, all of the intricate parts of it were things that I thought out. However, I had a lot of people who helped me with it. Like, there was a lot of people, from my family to her family to our mutual friends to her clients. All of them made it an amazing day, and they added their little twist to, you know, what my idea was. But it wouldn't have been as great had it just been me planning the whole thing. It wouldn't have turned out that way at all.
all right. So
You
like,
never told me that, but okay.
I never told
sorry,
you that.
sorry.
that it wouldn't have turned out that way if you did everything on your own.
Like, if I was responsible for everything, no. Like, I'm talking about, like, if I had to do your makeup, if I had
Back
to
to
do
you,
your hair.
Dustin.
Oh, there we go. So like, the whole thing, like, from my perspective,
That was great.
man, y'all be having me cracking up. But from my perspective, when I seen the video, it was like the whole thing really weighed on like her consenting to like this whole thing that happened. Like, what if she never had said yes and then you just? So like, why do you think consent is like such a taboo topic?
So, I'm sure my wife wants to add in, because she had this little thing that she thought of probably 3 days ago. So I'll just go ahead and let you just go ahead and say what you got to say.
So, when people hear about the wedding, they always say, how did you know she was going to say yes? Right? So my big thing on that is, where are you in your relationship? And man and woman, where are you in your relationship when where you don't know if this person is going to say yes or no? Like, where's the communication in the relationship? Whereas though you don't know if this person wants to marry you. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
when people say, what if you would have said no? Well, we've talked about marriage. We're talking about getting married. So my consent had already been in the communication prior to me saying yes. Me saying that I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I'm going to practice celibacy with you. All of those things, I know, right? Thank God it's sober, Jesus. So all of those things were me consenting to marrying him prior to me even saying yes.
And so I already knew that she was going to say yes. I already knew she was going to go through with the plans. I mean, we courted. So I think the difference I don't want to say the difference because I don't want to generalize everyone. But what we did in our relationship is we really got to know each other. And practicing celibacy even made us have to go deeper into each other, because, of course, you know, when you're practicing celibacy, there's certain things that you can't mask. Like, you know, sex actually makes, like, you can disguise different things by engaging in sex. Whereas if you're not doing that, then you're forced to talk about certain things. So, I mean, we knew each other very well. So I knew she was going to say yes. She better say yes. Period.
Oh, okay.
Back to you, Justin.
So is there like really like a gray area in terms of like consent in relationships?
What do you mean? Like, can you?
Okay.
So for example, right? One thing I always thought about is like, do you necessarily have to always ask for something, or is there like just like a eye to eye kind of like look, you know, like?
Are we talking about? So, I think are we talking about the sexual part of it, or are we just talking about just
in general? But if you want to talk about the sexual part, most definitely.
Oh, okay. I think that when you know someone, and you build with them, and you're around them, and you know their habits, and you know their train of thought, you know, like you're going to automatically know some things that they want. You're going to know what they want, and then you're going to know what they don't want. Like, I know when my wife is in the mood, and I know when my wife isn't in the mood. So, you know, as a man, I wouldn't want to just throw myself on her if I know that she's not in that particular mood. You understand what I'm saying? So
I think it all boils down, when you talk about consent, right? I think it all boils down to, like he said, knowing your partner. And that also comes with effective communication. When you have effective communication between two people, you understand how they feel, the way they move, the way they act, what they're thinking, how they, you know, what mood they're in at that moment. Yeah. If you don't have that effective communication, then you will have to verbally always give consent. Oh yeah, it's time to have sex, or oh, let's drink. You know what I mean? Things like that. But if you have effective communication, my husband and I, we talk about everything. Like during that time where we were practicing celibacy, we had to talk about everything. I mean, it didn't matter. The smallest things created lengthy conversations. So I just believe that effective communication, it helps to not have to give verbal consent, especially in a marriage.
Okay. And in the marriage, like, you know, as far as when it comes to the sexual portion, cause I saw a clip before, prior to, when you guys were talking about consent, and I'm assuming that you were talking sexually, but you were talking about as a boyfriend and then as a married couple. So consent as a boyfriend and girlfriend, I mean, yeah, I definitely feel like there has to be consent on both levels each and every time that you partake in whatever you do. However, y'all started talking about married couples as well, and I think someone disagreed with you and was like, nah, you don't necessarily, you know, like, you're crazy to think that, you know, you don't need consent in order to you know, have sexual relations with your wife or with your husband. And my wife, to be honest with you, if I was upset, or if I was in a bad mood, or if she was in a bad mood, she would still partake in sexual intercourse with me.
So there you go.
All right, okay.
Because it's a healing kind of thing as well. You know, it kind of brings the relationship closer together, right. So you kind of forget about the argument and so forth and so on. So, yeah.
Well, that was really dope. I really like y'all answers, you know. Y'all had me thinking for a second, so, you know. It was great to have you guys on the show. You know, thank you for the, taking your time out of the day, having this conversation.
Thank you so much for having us.
No problem, no problem.
Yeah. Appreciate you, man. You good?
Yeah. Back to you, Dustin.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. But yeah. We'll be right back after this break.
When it comes to saving money,
What?
don't act like a baby.
Oh, it's like they're having their own little meeting. This is so humiliating.
Be the boss.
I'm the boss.
What the?
Power nap. You were saying.
And make a budget.
Let's get to work.
Need a little help?
Stacy, read back the notes.
I can't read. What's it say?
Create a personalized savings plan and get other tools and tips.
We can share.
You obviously didn't go to business school.
At feedthepig.org.
40% of food in America never gets eaten. When we start to think differently about our food, we can get a lot more out of it.
Man, that was a great conversation. I hope you all were paying attention and taking notes. Mr. and Mrs. Duncan were amazing, inspiring, and thought-provoking. Now we want to hear what you have to say. What do you think about consent? Is it an essential component in building a healthy relationship? Let us know what you think. Tweet us your responses at most_wise_club. We definitely want to hear from you. Let's continue the conversation on Twitter.
Let's keep the energy going for our next guest, R&B sensation Janae Daniels. Janae truly represents the entire DMV. Music has always been a part and a passion of hers. She grew up as a tomboy, watching and playing sports, and now she is tapping into her inner woman and discovering her beauty. She is inspiring others while pursuing a music career full-time and is creating a movement that has never been seen before. Janae is inspired by life, love, and the ability to impact others. Her music is a reflection of everything that she has been through, and it is a message from her heart to the ears of others. Ladies and gentlemen, Janae Daniels.
Oh, I want a few bands and a rubber band. Oh, I want a few trips to the motherland. Oh, I want a few bags filled with a bag. Oh, I want a few things that I never had. Oh, I want a few bands and a rubber band. Oh, I want a few trips to the motherland. All I want, a few bags filled with a bag. All I want, a few things that I never had. You treating, I'm eating. You not alone, you're competing. The next man just might be better than you. I'm worth it, deserve it. That I should want and I'm serving. Not paying for it, no, this all is on you. So you better get your money right, get your pockets tight. Treat me like a princess day and night. If not, you know it's on to the next. And I wanna take shopping spree, you take care of me. Going on trips overseas. I'm just out here trying to flex on my ex. Oh, I want a few bands and a rubber band. Oh, I want a few trips to the motherland. All I want, a few bags filled with a bag. Oh, I want a few things that I never had. I'm talking paying my bills. I'm talking house on the hill. I'm talking private jet. I'm talking paying my debts. I wanna take shopping sprees. I wanna live comfortably. I wanna travel the world. I want diamonds and pearls. That's all I want. That's all That's all I want from you. Can I get a few bags? A few things that I never had. That's all I want. That's all I want from you. A few bags filled with a bag. All I want. A few things that I never had.
We're here with Janae Daniels after her wonderful performance. So I just got a couple questions.
Okay.
I'm curious. So when did you start singing?
Ooh, I've been singing for a while. Kind of on and off since I was a kid, but like actually pursuing music and singing, performing-wise, I guess, and recording about 2 years, almost 3 years now.
So I get that you're a singer, but I also heard like you're part, like you running this movement of yours. So can you talk to me about that?
Yeah, kind of. I'm starting this thing. It's called Janation. So pretty much it's like, you know how Rihanna has Rihanna Navy and Beyonce got the Beehive. So for me, it's like, it's Janation. I just want it to be like a group of my supporters, people that really rock with me, and just a group of positive people, people who want to give back and see other people win. That's pretty much, you know, what the movement is. Deep down, it's kind of like at the end of the road, it's like, of course, it's to make it, but after that, it's so much more. It's about giving back to the community and creating, you know, new avenues for younger people. So that's the Janation movement that I'm trying to start.
So how do you intend to like intertwine music with that?
Well, initially, you know, just everybody, I feel like all the younger groups of people, they always want to be around celebrities. Like we all like celebrities. So it's like if I make it and I'm a celebrity, everybody gonna want to hang with me. So of course, everybody gonna want to be a part of my program, and it'll just be something that people really want to attend. And then I think I can get other, celebrities hang with celebrities. They always do each other's favors. So I figure I can get some of my celebrity friends to come out, be a part of some things, and just showcase other avenues of being successful and just trying new things to, venture out and get out of our regular scenarios and situations that we're always left in.
So you got some music of your own, like right now?
I do. I actually just came out with my first EP. It's called The Initiation. It's just like the welcome to Janation, like initiating the process of everything, and this is just the beginning, it's the start. And I have a couple other songs that I have out, some stuff on SoundCloud. I've done a EP with a previous friend of mine by the name of Big Lean, and it's called Leanism, Ode to Badu. And it's really good. It's a pro-black situation, and pretty much he just goes in on, our community and how we need to do better type situation. And so I have a couple of things on there. If you check out my SoundCloud, I'm under Janae Music everywhere.
So what would you equate your sound to?
Ooh, that's deep. I don't really feel like I can equate my sound to anyone in particular or anything in particular, because I really like a lot of things and I really try to venture off. I feel like I have a lot of range, so I can do some, some Jennifer Hudson type songs. It just comes, the main issue would then be writing it. But I really like trap music, so for me it's kind of like a trap soul situation like Bryson Tiller. But I don't know, I like all types of stuff. I like rock, I like pop, I like R&B. So anything that you throw at me, if I can write to it, I'm gonna try. So I wouldn't necessarily equate to any individual. I pretty much do like a versatile thing where I would bring everybody in.
Right. So thank you for, being on the show. It was nice having you here.
Thank you for having me. It was great. I had a great time.
It's dope. And we'll be right back after this break.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Don't ignore the subtext. It's on us to intervene in sexual assault. Because we can. Take the pledge at itsonus.org.
So here we are with our final thoughts. So how you guys feel about today's episode?
I think it was very interesting the way that Alfred proposed to Sherelle. That was just amazing. The fact that he proposed and already planned the wedding for the same day. That was just, I got emotional even looking at it. I think it was just a really amazing act of kindness. Well, not kindness, it was love, but you know what I mean.
My favorite part of the episode was definitely the music talent. I'm all into music, I'm all into talent. Janae Daniels definitely rocked the stage, if I must say. So talent will take it from me today.
Yeah. For me, you already know, I'm gonna just go ahead. I'm gonna say it was the main takeaway for me was obviously the topic about consent, For me, it's because me and Jasmine had a little debate on the previous episode about consent. So, it's a little gray area that we had to go over. So, seeing other people have perspective about it, it's just opened my mind to new brothers' perspectives. And I feel like I got a clear view on it.
Right.
So, this, it was dope. It was dope. Right. And that's our edition of Counter Stories. We hope y'all enjoyed it. I know I did. See y'all in 2018. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year.
There you go.
See y'all in 2018.
It's real in the field, and they know that our passion is real. Given the circumstances, I gotta give me your meal. The people are watching, my back is the target. No matter the struggle, I know where I'm walking.